Let's talk about it. Don't you wanna talk about it? Let's talk about
JSpire
it.
Live.
Don't you wanna talk
And
about
now,
it? Let's talk
Miss
about it.
JSpire.
Don't you wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it. Don't you wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it.
Well, hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday. Happy Fill Up Friday. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I am your host tonight, Mrs. JSpire. If you are new to our channel, new to our Fill Up Friday live event, then welcome. If you are part of our family, then welcome back. And if you are a Fill Up Friday faithful, thank you so much for being faithful and spending time with us every Friday night. So if you are catching the replay, I want to say thank you. And I also want to say welcome. Be sure to continue to comment because we do try to go back and comment and reply when people are catching the replay. So if you are new, you're asking, what is JSpirations Live? Who is Mrs. J Spire? And who or what is a Fill Up Friday faithful? So, Fill Up Friday. Well, let's start with JSpirations Live. We are a motivational platform. We are a motivational movement. We are a place where we have healthy conversations with real people about real things. And so then you say, well, who is Mrs. J Spire? Well, I am the creator and the president, executive director of JSpirations Live, LLC. I am a motivational speaker. I'm a community educator for my career. And I just love having engaging conversation. I love motivating others. I love encouraging and sowing seeds of hope and love and just encouraging people to show up as their best selves and to let them know that sometimes we don't, but that we don't have to do life alone. It's okay not to be okay, and that it's definitely okay to reach out for help and to share and communicate and allow someone to sow into you as well. I Fill Up Friday Faithfuls are our family of JSpirations Live. They usually come on every Friday night. And what we do on Fill Up Friday is we encourage each other and we fill up. We are human. We are mothers, daughters, husbands. We are parents. We are caregivers, and we have jobs as well. Hello, Lucy. And so oftentimes by the end of the week, sometimes we are drained because we have given so much. And so on Fill Up Friday, we come together to lift each other up, to motivate each other, and to encourage each other. I know many, and we hope that if you come and you're empty, we hope that by the time you leave that you are full. And that if you come in full, we hope that you are able to pour into someone else. So I know many people may not be on tonight because it is Good Friday, and there are several Good Friday services happening all across the world, and we're thankful for that because we are thankful that God, before His grace and His mercy, and for what He did for us, right? Hello, Auntie. We are so thankful for what He did for us, and so we know what Good Friday is, and we're also thankful for resurrection. So we know that many will also be celebrating Resurrection Sunday in service as well. So let us know what you filled up on. Begin to drop it into the comments so that we can know how you guys have been feeling this week. what you filled up on. So I actually was not going to come on tonight. The last couple days I've been having this like lingering like headache, or just not feeling 100%, or just not feeling myself. And so my son goes, no, you have to be consistent. So you have to go on regardless of whether you want to or not. And I'm looking at him like, those are the things that I tell him. And so he's, good evening, Robinette. And so I'm on tonight because my son poured back into me and told me, like, no, you have to be consistent. And as I was typing to let everyone know that we were having Fill Up Friday, he asked me what I was doing. And I said, I'm typing. I'm typing in some things for Fill Up Friday. And he's like, wait a minute, you don't have a topic? And I was like, well, yeah, like kinda. And he was like, well, if you wasn't feeling well, you should have already been prepared. Right? So you should have already had a topic. And I go, okay, well, I guess everything that I'm teaching him, he is definitely pouring it back into me. And so it's spilling over. So I'm thankful that he is listening and that he is watching. And so for that, I had to, yes, Latoya, I had to be accountable, and I had to show up tonight, even when I'm not feeling 100%. So as I started quickly preparing, I started thinking about like, well, I really didn't post a lot this week because honestly, I've been feeling a little distracted. And then today, something happened. It wasn't like major, but something didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. So it did upset me a little bit, and got a little teary eyed and kind of started questioning myself and thinking about like, God, like, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? What do I need to do different? What do I need to do better? Like really just kind of asking myself like all those things. And during that time of starting to feel like that, God just started dropping this song in my heart. It's a piece of a song, but it was just like, I've never seen the righteous forsaken. Or God, I never seen you not show up, right? Like I know he's always going to show up. And I had to start thinking about, how I'm always encouraging others that sometimes when God gives us a no, he knows that something better is coming for us. And so he's not allowing us to settle. And so I really, been trying to get that in my spirit, because today I was distracted, and today I was feeling like, okay, what's happening? Like maybe I'm not doing something right. Or I kept saying, like my family needs a win, right? Like I feel like we just need a yes, we need a win for something. And again, I was, feeling, as the young folks say, like some type of way about it. And my son again just said, well, that's just what it is, and there's nothing we can do about that, right? But he knows that we can move forward and we can keep going. So I'm so thankful that even when I'm distracted, right, even my child is able to speak into me. He's able to speak life into me and to remind me of what I have been sowing into him, right? To remind me of how I've been raising him and remind me of what I said, right? Sometimes we tell our children, like, don't do what I do, do what I say, or don't worry about what I'm doing. But our children are watching us, right? And it can show up in so many different ways. If we're not doing the right things, then they follow in our footsteps, right? And if we are doing the right things, then they follow in our footsteps, and they remind us of what we told them. They remind us of how we've been rearing them. They remind us. Oftentimes he's reminding me of who God is, right? Like he's like, no, Mom, like this is what you said. Like, Mom, you trust God, right? Like, Mom, you believe. And so I'm thankful that over the years, even though we're not perfect, but that over the years, he's seen my relationship with God, and that those seeds are in him, right? It's in him, and he's able to regurgitate it. He's able to tell me what I said, to be able to remind me of who God is in our lives. And so I'm so thankful for that. And as I was going through, like, well, what are we going to talk about? I went back to something that I shared about 4 days ago, and it wasn't anything that I typed personally. So it wasn't any like original quote or anything or an original thought like I usually do. But I follow Khadijah Jenkins Ministries on Facebook, and something that she posted the other day, she said, the devil saw you working on it and saw you focused, and he brought discouragement and doubt. You have to not let the enemy get you distracted. You have more leverage than you believe you do, and more advantage than you see you do. You won't fail nor fall. So keep pushing and going. There's a nation of people waiting for you to reach them. I'm praying you through. And when I saw that a couple of days ago, I was just like, oh, like I've been so distracted and I needed to read that. And so I shared it on my page. And that was 4 days ago when I posted it, not knowing that today I would feel even more distracted, or I would feel even more discouraged, and that I would need to reflect back on this during our moment of sharing tonight. And if you're new to the page, and some people may say, well, wait a minute, you're a motivational speaker, and you're feeling this way, or maybe you're not feeling so motivated while you're listening to me, right? Or maybe my face doesn't look all as smiley, and that's not a word, but as it usually does. But in addition to being a motivational speaker, I'm also a human, right? I'm a person. And what we do here on JSpirations Live is we have real talk with real people about real things, and we have transparency, because through transparency and through conversation comes a level of freedom that we don't have, or that the enemy holds us and gets us in some type of chokehold, because we feel like we can't share. We feel like we can't be honest. We can't be transparent, or we feel like we have to keep up some facade all the time to let people think that we have it all together, right? And so that's where the motivation comes from. The motivation comes in being able to sit on in front of the camera tonight and tell you that, okay, this week I was discouraged, or I was distracted, and I wasn't always okay, right? I wasn't always okay, but I am okay because of who lives inside of me, right? Just because I love God and I have a relationship with Him, it doesn't mean that things are always going to be easy. Just because you love God and you have a relationship with Him, it doesn't mean that things are always going to be easy. But what it means is that we're going to walk through things differently, right? Things are going to look different for us because of who's walking with us. Not so much of just who's walking with us, but because of who's carrying us, right? Because we get into these situations where sometimes we can't even walk, right? Sometimes we can't even stand, but because of who is carrying us, right? Because of the strength and love and grace and mercy of God, then when we go through our struggles, we get distracted, we go through those discouraged, it's going to look different on the other side. And we know it's going to be an other side because the faith and belief that we have in God. So because we are human, yes, we have to go through these things, but just know, because of who your Father is, because of who loves us and gives us grace and mercy and favor, it's going to look different. And so instead of just having to stay in it, we are going to go through it. We are going to walk through it. And so I'm thankful. I'm thankful for that tonight. I'm thankful for even for the way that I'm feeling, even for some of the discouragement that I felt this week, even for some of the distractions, because it is a constant reminder of who God is in my life. Because when I wake up the next day, things are different, things are better. Even before I go to bed, things are different, things are better because of who I serve. And so I'm thankful that I serve Him. I'm thankful for the relationship that I have with him. And I'm thankful that even though I feel a certain way, even though there may be different thoughts going on in my mind about, God, like I thought it was going to be a yes, that I'm thankful that even in that no, that I know that he has something different for us, that I even know that I can share my thoughts with him and I can share my feelings with him and I can be honest with him and that he's going to comfort me, right? Because when we're going through things and we're talking with him and we're sharing with him, even though he knows our thoughts, right? And he knows our feelings, but he loves for us to engage with him. He loves for us to converse back and forth with him. He loves that he has our attention, right? And so when he has our attention, that we can really listen to him, right? That we can really hear what he is saying to us. And so I thank God that he got my attention this week. And to be honest, when I get off of this platform, I still may be feeling a certain way, but I'm thankful that I can encourage myself while I'm encouraging you guys. And I'm also thankful that you guys are here to be able to encourage me. Robinette said earlier that the encouraging needs encouragement as well, and that is that is so, it's real, right? And it's correct, and I'm thankful that on nights like tonight when I didn't feel like getting on, that when I showed up, that you guys showed up too, right? And so that makes me feel good and that sows into me and that encourages me. So I'm thankful because I needed this encouragement. I come on so that we can all have a conversation and we can talk about what you filled up on. But sometimes I come and I feel like I'm feeling empty, right? But I'm thankful that when I pop on, even though I can't see your faces, I can see your names and I can see your comments, right? And it fills me up. So thank you so much for filling me up tonight. So what I want to encourage you tonight is to know that even though we're going to go through it, right? Even though you may not always get the answer that you think you deserve or the answer that you want, that God has more for us, and he has better. And in that no, it's just his push to you to trust him more, right? To trust him more. Immediately today, when I got the no, I started thinking about what I was doing wrong, right? But now that I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you all, right, and I'm filling up, I thank God that my mind is going another way. And what my mind is saying now is, God, what do you have next? What do you have better? Right? He's allowing me not to settle, or he's telling me, not to beat myself up or to overthink things, because I can be an overthinker. I'm very analytical. Um, but I thank God that as I'm talking to you guys, that I am filling up and that my mind and my thoughts are going in a different direction of, okay, so maybe that wasn't the best thing, right? So what's going to be next? And so I thank God that I trust him, I believe him, and that I believe in the next, right? That I know that he had me yesterday, he has me right now, and that he has me next. And so I thank God for that. So I want to encourage you guys to just kind of walk in that same wavelength of knowing that the no is not always negative. The no is God preparing you for your yes, right? And preparing you for your next. So what did you guys fill up on this week? Lucy says she filled up on the word. Robinette said, I fill up on a double dosage of determination and faith. Found right when I was about to throw my hands up. Everything worked out and God gets the glory. I know that's right, Robinette, because we do. And sometimes it has to get to that point where it's like, I'm about to throw my hands up. And when we throw our hands up, we think that we're giving up. But what it is God telling us, go ahead and surrender, not to that thing, but surrender to me, because I got it, right? And so sometimes he has to push us and let us get to that point where we're just like, you know what, God, I am throwing my hands out, right? I'm throwing my hands up not because the situation has gotten the best of me, but I'm throwing my hands up because I know I need to take my hands off of it because there's nothing I can do. And God, he's not jumping right in because he's there all the time, but then he just takes total control of the situation. And it's because so that he can get the glory, right? Because sometimes it's like we're trying to do things and we know we can't do it right. We know it's not going to work out that way. So I thank God for you throwing those hands up because then you said, yes, Lord, come on in here and do what you need to do, right? And so I'm thankful for that. So I'm glad that you filled up on that determination and that faith. Um, hey, Aunt Ruth says she's on board. Paula said, tests become your testimony. No test, no testimony, no trials, no triumphs. God got you through it all. Listen, y'all, and for real, stop playing. I was like, listen, God, like, I don't got time for no test, for no testimony. Right? I was like, listen, I'm tired of those tests. Like, I'm done. Like, I need a win, right? That's what I started saying. Like, honestly, like, God, I need a win. But I do know that God has me through it all. And yes, Robin, that we were talking about that. He loves for us to commune with him, right? He loves to commune with us. He wants to have our full attention. Robinette says, you're passing the test, you're being encouraged and still giving God honor through it. Yes, I know you meant to say discouraged because, yes, I have, girl. So I'm not going to stay on here long. Like I said, I've been having this little slight headache the last couple days on and off. I didn't even go into church tonight, and I know that I should have, but I was just like, I'm just going to do a couple of things I had to do, and then I'm just going to rest my body. But I thank God for all of you. I thank God for you encouraging me. I thank God for you guys showing up and encouraging each other. You guys are definitely the Fill Up Friday faithfuls, and we are thankful for your faithfulness. We're thankful for God being faithful to us, and then we're thankful for God sending us people who who has our back, right? That has our best interests. So I love you guys. I hope that you all do something this weekend that's going to fill you up. Enjoy Resurrection Sunday. We are so thankful for the sacrifice that God made for us, right? He gave his life for us. He could have gotten off, right? But he loves us so much. Jesus, he loved us so much. God gave his son. Jesus gave his life for us. And so I'm so thankful that when he did get up, he got up with all power in his hands. And I'm thankful for that love that he has for us that allows us to love each other. Oh, Robin, thank you so much. You said, if you pray God's divine healing, spirit, soul, and body, God loves you, and we do too. And I love y'all so much. So enjoy the rest of your night. Again, do something this weekend to fill yourself up. Do something this weekend that that makes you feel good. Do something for yourself. And then also pour and sow into someone else. Give someone a smile, a hug, a word of encouragement, some JSpirations, because we always want you to JSpire and we want you to be JSpired. So I love you. Be safe this weekend. Love on yourself. And as always, be JSpired. Hey, Don, love you. Be blessed.